we did not quite finish the regular sentences. We saw that in a very typical regular sentence you have both subject and verb, and whatever the verb takes. Okay, we looked a little at subject complement verbs and direct object verbs, verbs that take these two types of constituent, and saw that you cannot really leave something out. And we also looked at a rather complex verb pattern. I have suggested to Molly that she leaves tomorrow. So the verb pattern is like this: suggest to someone that he or she, that X does so and so. Okay. Right. And that might be tricky because here we might have mother tongue interference, because people would just think that the sentence structure would be like that which the correspondent, the counterpart, not correspondent, but the corresponding, but the counterpart verb would take in their native tongue. Okay, so there would be mother tongue interference. Okay, we also looked a little at morphology errors such as sendit and and we looked a little at she is nurse, which is wrong because you need to have she is a nurse. Whenever you have a countable noun in the singular, you need the indefinite article is the default situation, because the indefinite article tells us that you are just a member of a category, or just one out of many, and therefore we need that. Okay, there are exceptions here that we might revert to later, but suffice for now that in the default case you need a and un in the singular if you have a countable noun. Now that can be counted, such as nurse, one nurse, two nurses, and so forth, one letter, two letters, so forth. And to finish off, we can also look at the lady sings the blues. That's all right, isn't it? But you can't say the lady sing the blues, because we know that the subject lady has to agree with the verb. And since the subject lady is in the third person singular and we have present tense, then right here the English language has a morphological marking which is kind of superfluous, but it's still there. So here the subject has to agree with the verb. It's not really a problem with other persons and number. So I mean, if you think about first person and second person and third person plural, second person is just sing. So so here, but here the subject verb agreement error with the simple present tense third person singular. Here we need the s suffix, and that's also an error which is quite frequent. Okay, we'll now turn to the next slide and try to move a little forward. Okay, there we go. There are other problems, namely word order problems. I'm going to mention just one to you, namely the S before the subject before the verb. That's the typical word order in English. Okay, so in English you say that if you have a subject in a sentence, it's typically before the verb. So if I take a regular statement, okay, the subject needs to be before the verb in by far the majority of cases. So it's today I sang a song. It's all right. Okay, today, right? That would be an adverbial, but okay, tell us something about time, but okay, never mind. Then we have the subject I, and it's before the verb sang. Okay, I sang. Okay, right. So who sang? I sang. Okay, what was the singing? What is the verb? This must be the singing, right? Okay, yeah, I think you get the drift. You can't say today sang I a song. I mean, this might. You find such errors in Danish and German learners, because in Danish, whenever there is something at the beginning of a sentence, like an adverbial like today or something, heute, day, then we have inversion. That is, we have the verb before the subject. Okay, so this is an error that people make out of mother tongue interference. Okay. And we could come up with other examples, but we'll talk about them later, because right now we're about to exceed the 5 minute limit. So thanks for now.